In tutorial 10, case problem 1, one of the first things it asks you to do is to fill in the upper range. And really all this means is just they want you to fill in the range of grades. And they've given you the lower range. So the upper range for the first increment would be 29 because 30 starts the next range. So in this case they've taken F5 minus 1 because you're going to be one grade or one number lower than the next highest. Now if you copy these down, won't really work for this last one. Obviously the upper range of the last one is going to be 100, so you can just enter those. The next thing it asks you to do is to create a VLOOKUP to find the letter grade for this first student in the list. And this is in cell D4. And basically what they have here is a VLOOKUP, and you'll notice when you start entering these numbers, it tells you that you're going to look up C4. The table you're looking at up in is F4 through H8, and that is the lower range table, or basically the lower and the upper range, because it's F4 through H8. And then the column index, remember that's where it's going to get the information. It's going to go to the third column, which is the actual letter grade. Now the range lookup, where it has this true, you can really take this out. You'll get the same thing. You don't have to have that there, but you can just leave that in the formula for now. If you'll take this information for the VLOOKUP and copy it all the way down, it will fill in the rest of the grades for you. Then the next thing it asks you to do is use COUNTIF to count the total number of each letter grade. And it says in the range D4 through D223. And they used dollar signs so that it will only look in those exact columns and rows. It will not change if you copy the formula. So in the count field here, it's a COUNTIF, and it gives you the range. And remember, you could just as easily take this range right here and create a name for it and use the name there instead of the actual column reference. But in this case, they did go ahead and use the cell references. And then they have H4 because it wants to know how many of F's are there. So I finished carrying the formulas down for grades, and now when the count formula is entered, it counts the total number of F's in this range. And then same thing, you can take that formula and copy it down, and it will get the totals for all of the different grade letters. Then the next thing, it wants you to figure out the percentages, and you can put those here. Make sure that your total is 100% when you're through, so that you've included all the numbers and not duplicated any of the numbers.